Alive! Hello, everyone. So, again, I'm just a little bit earlier, like 1 minute right now, to see how everybody's going, like to let the internet know that I'm here and all of you. Yeah. Hey. Hi, bro. My brother is so sweet. He's like encouraging me by waving and being for a while here. So grateful. Yeah, thank you. Grateful for him and grateful for the people in my life. And yeah, we're waiting for Elisa to come. So today we will have a discussion with Elisa that she's a sex coach and she just launched her first book. But I'm gonna let her. The book is in Italian. She's Italian. As you can see, hello, Caroline. Excited to have you here. As you can see, I'm trying, and this is something that, as I said so many times before, makes me happy to have these deep, interesting, beautiful conversations with people that are thriving and trying. It's not always, when I say thriving, you're trying to, it's thriving, yeah. I cannot, I'm not going to play around the word, but you're going to have a lot of healing to do. You're going to have, doesn't mean that if you want to pursue a dream, a purpose, a mission, or all of them, have fulfill, come to fruition, made your dreams and desires come to fruition, you're not going to encounter suffering and drama and trauma and healing a lot of stuff and learning and failing and trying again and falling down on your face flat. That's hello, Elisa. She's here. Let's see. I'm going to try to invite you. You're going to encounter all of that. But the fun and the beauty in life is to just follow your dreams. Doesn't matter if, hey, I'm so excited to see you.
We made it.
Yeah. We made it. How are you?
And without saying anything, we are matching.
Yeah. Look at this. This is quite nice. How are you?
What I didn't hear you.
I said, how are you feeling today? How are you?
I'm really good, actually. Yeah, in between 5,000 things, but I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, this is the discussion we will have. So, guys, everyone, beauties, whatever, um, we can really relate to each other's reality because we have both of us. We have 3 kids, not together. She has 3 kids. I have 3 kids, and life is crazy. This is why it's like navigating all the things, navigating motherhood. She launched a book, navigating business, inner child tantrums, our inner child's, like a lot of things. And I love Elisa's energy and her charm and the fact that she's European and all of. I'm just gonna say it. I love that as well. So I love Italy, and I love that we can have this chat whenever we desire and have the time, of course, with all the things going on. So first and foremost, tell us about the book and about you, actually, so everybody knows a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I work as a pleasure mentor. I'm known in Italy as La Sacerdosex, which is a funny name to actually express what I do in my work, which is bring women to feel pleasure again, not only in their bedroom, but everywhere in their lives. And I'm kind of the bridge between, so like a priestess, between themselves and their inner parts and with pleasure, which is lived in this way as something like sacred and such as kind of your inner compass, your GPS towards what you really desire and what you really want in life. And as you mentioned, my book, it's actually in Italian, but look at the cover. I love it. Just...
Cool. It's so cool, and the color and the picture. I love it.
Yeah, and it's called Vivi Accesa, which means mm, live a turned on life. And turned
Mhm.
on here is not only on a sexual perspective, it's both sexual but also um, as a way of life, really to live switched on
Yeah.
instead of switched off. And then La Via della Gina, which is the pussy way to free your sensuality and reawaken your feminine pleasure.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
This is a good book. Whenever you have it in English, let me know, because I really, really wanna read it, or listening to, for me it's easier to listen to Audible. But you mentioned there's some points that are really important. So I love the fact that your book, it's called Turn On, because in even more in PFT, like when we became breathwork facilitator, it's all about like really being open, like open
Mm-hmm.
your heart, feel everything, let the pleasure and the pain have that duality of everything, so you can really, let's say, taste life and really feel it. Because in the moment you close your vagina or your heart or your being, it's, in a way it's the same, because when you're open all your openings, you're gonna manifest things, you're gonna let all the things in. And sometimes, yeah, can be a heartbreak, or you can suffer, or it's suffering, or like pain or sadness or anger or whatever. But once you feel through them, then you're gonna open more and feel the pleasure as well. And you can feel, even you can have that duality of like, I'm grateful for the life that I have, and I'm suffering in this moment and sad in this moment, because life happens and it's life. And
Mm-hmm.
when you feel all of that, life becomes beautiful, right?
Yeah, it does, definitely. And another thing, yeah, and this is connected also to the art of receiving, because whenever you open to pleasure,
Yeah.
it's really difficult to open up, really open up to pleasure, to orgasm, to receiving pleasure. And so it's connected to this part of opening up, it's connected the art of receiving. And also, what I love about pleasure, which is, of course, my work, so I love it, but um, especially is the fact that you cannot really say that my pleasure is wrong, and I cannot say that your pleasure is wrong. Everyone is connected. Once you open up and you explore your own pleasure in everyday life, in every task, in the bedroom,
Yeah.
it's it's so personal and subjective that becomes really connected to that feeling of the felt sense that we were taught to to listen to in the breathwork facilitation
Yeah.
program, and that we do as breathwork facilitators. It's really like we open up always saying, okay, this is the breath that I suggest you to take this
Yeah.
today, but then your body is the wise part.
Yeah.
So this is especially what I love about my work, is that pleasure is really about everyone, and it connects you to your inner self, deep, deep inner self.
Mm.
And so it really helps you open to yourself first, and then to life, of course.
Yeah, because once you go, oh, this resonates so much, because I've never been, and this is like quite, I'm going to be quite direct here, because I love to be this way. I've never, like, for some reason in my life, I don't know exactly, I cannot point the moment where I didn't know how to really feel that. And now I'm talking about the pleasure, the sexual pleasure, in a way, not the sensuality, but it didn't knew I wasn't educated that much when I was younger, and growing up as well. But now it's more like the more I'm um, feeling my feelings and being in my body, I'm opening more, and I'm becoming more creative in that area with myself first and foremost, because it's always about you. If you cannot rely on, even in life in general, you're not going to relate to the outside noise. You zoom in and you go within in your body and see what makes you tick and feel like in a certain way that feels good for you, exactly what you said, because it's so different for all of us. And then from that place, like when you really open for the sexual part, but even like the pleasure on the little things, like listening to a song or going out or even like doing the chores, that makes you feel good. Some days, probably some days now, like you want to have somebody else coming cleaning the house. I dream about that a lot. So yeah, once you open for everything, you're going to find the ways, and it's like your journey to go more within and find what feels good and what you enjoy in bed with your partner or by yourself, and then opening more to other aspects of your life, motherhood, because that can be really hard as well, and you can find pleasure in the little moments, and sometimes it's like you wanna scream, and the anger and the frustration is coming out. But once, as I said, you're more open, and you said, and you let your how you say it in English is like sovereign sovereignty, like you decide
Hmm.
what's good for you. Like in breath work, we can okay, I can bring an invitation, take this breath pattern. It will help you at the beginning in whatever, but then it's your body that has the wisdom and guides the way. And with pleasure and everything, it's the same. Like the more you go within, the more you're gonna open and expand. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I always say, so first of all, you opened up so many things that I would like to address. So I hope I'm gonna remember everything. I would like to say, first of all, pleasure, and practicing pleasure, and finding pleasure, and knowing yourself and your pleasure is like bringing back your power to yourself.
Mm,
Because as you said, we were not really educated on a sexual level here in Italy. Now there is all like politicians are fighting about either if address, like if introducing sexual education in school, which is like, oh, hello. I mean, we are in 2024. Maybe there should be,
yeah.
sexual education, emotion education, and stuff. Um, but we are not taught as little kids and as young adults about that. We are the ways in which we usually learn is through peers
Yeah.
or through pornos, which are actually not really true in what they address as pleasure, especially for women, because we need a lot of time to open up. Um, so this becomes something that as adults, then we often we struggle. I have a lot of clients that struggle with this body sovereignty, because they think that their men or their women, they are more able to address their vaginas and their pleasure than they are,
Yeah.
which is kind of silly if you think about it, because my body is my body. And again, if I like something, how can you say that it's wrong? You cannot
Yeah.
say it.
If my body tells me that I like this, you just tell me no, this is not good for you. Just try this other way. No, it is
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, and also you addressed motherhood. Also, we live in a society where once you become mother, you are kind of not sexual anymore, which is
Mm,
again silly, because we are women first, then
yeah.
mothers. And many men, but many women also, once they have kids, then they cannot see each other or themselves as sexual beings anymore. And that's really related to religion, education, to like how we actually saw our mothers or our grandmothers. Also how we received education as okay, sex is a duty that you have to accomplish in your marriage. And that's something that actually I still see among other women. I was just speaking with a client the other day, and she was like, oh my God, I am here because in my relationship we struggle to have sex. He just touches me like this, I don't like it, and after I have place to sleep my kids, actually I don't feel like having sex. It's another duty during the day. And but you know what I invite always women to search for is what can sex and pleasure be for you, because it's sacred, because it can be creative practice. It can be something like a lab, a laboratory where you can really find yourself. You can find creativity, sparkle your intuition, create and manifest things, relate, like reawaken your ability to feel your body. And the last thing I would like to address about what you all said was that something that is really, 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 really super about pleasure is that it makes you, like, something we were not taught also is to say yes and to say no when they are meant. And also to validate what we feel really about something. Then we know that sometimes a no, it's not a no, because other parts of ourselves come up in the game of pleasure. And in the game of pleasure, a lot of parts come up because there is shame, there is this sense of guiltiness, there is this sense of, I don't want to be of service for you because you have to be of service of me, or I don't have to surrender so much, otherwise I'm that kind of woman that does whatever you want. It's like there is a word inside pleasure. So it's really fascinating to learn, teach, and to grow through pleasure.
And in general, I believe it's such a dense, how can I say, if you take this subject, it's such a dense subject because a lot of inner parts and inner child and traumas and things that limiting beliefs and patterns and stories about sex, about you as a woman, about your parts, about everything. It's coming, or I have big boobs, or I'm too small, or I'm too fat, or I'm too slim, or whatever. And it is a dance. Like, it's a container that has so much in it. And I believe you see this with your clients a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. And it's not really about, I don't know if in English or in France or in Romania you use this gesture. We use it to say like fuck.
Yeah.
So pleasure is not just about fucking.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's so complex.
Yeah.
Because that's what many people think. Oh, you are a sex coach, so you just have people have a better sex life. Yeah, but
and then
in sex there is so much more.
Is better. They interpret that a sex coach, it's about, okay, how many times or during the week we need to make sex, in which position, but actually no, it is your being there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so much more. And yeah, and again, it's really fascinating to see how much women, also men, because men is a whole other chapter. But how women really, really, really desire to to access that kind of pleasure is really like a great thing that they can gift themselves.
Yeah. And I want to ask you something, and for everyone that's here. So I want to be present with the people that are here because I always forget about that. Like in my conversation, like I always like hey wave to them, but I forget to ask if you have questions or if it's something that you can relate with the conversation. Please put it on the comments so we can discuss that, whatever it is. And you, while you were saying, I'm like, in your journey to self pleasure, not just sexual, but in general with things, how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you interact with clothes, with music, whatever feels good for you, how like the work that you have been doing for yourself and then with your clients helped you to like open more and see pleasure differently. Because once you heal, at least I'm going to speak from my own experience, once you heal the no trauma, or you can really learn how to say no and yes, and it is a true no or a true yes, because as you mentioned, sometimes it's not, it's the ego that comes in the place there in the conversation and says, oh, maybe I want to say yes, but then he's gonna say that or interpret this like in the future that I'm gonna always be so open or I'm easy going or whatever. How all this journey of self-development and healing and growing and expanding have interacted and changed too in your relationship with pleasure, sexual and not non-sexual as well?
That's a big question,
Yeah.
Adriana. So, first of all, I think, and I can say that it helped me to take myself less seriously
I love that.
because it's a game.
Yeah.
So I was um, raised to perform, not like to perform and sing, but
Yeah.
to be always in performance mode
Yeah.
and to give the best, to try hard,
Mm.
to be the best. And pleasure has actually made me feel that there is really nothing that I need to do
Mm. Mm.
in order to be right, great, or whatever. It's actually about being in my pleasure that brings me to then be something, it's really like, and then whenever I can play and do things from pleasure, that's a totally different shade of everything. Um, and also, what you asked is really, 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 really about being also able to listen to my inner parts.
Mm.
Because whenever sometimes there are inner child, like inner children inside of us, that
Yeah.
whenever there is sex or pleasure, they were educated that sex and pleasure were bad. So whenever they are there approaching sex or pleasure, they are a full no.
Mm.
So as adults, we need to really kind of mother those parts of us and bring them into the game.
Yeah.
And also let them know that they are not expected to play sex, they are not, like, it's not their role. They are children. There are our inner children. Or something that I like to say as an example always is that I have a part of myself that I call the nun,
Mm.
and she's the one that will always answer no to my husband.
Mm.
Whenever is the situation, unless it's the most like fantastic and perfect situation. So no kids in the house, a lot of time, holiday me and
Mm.
him. It's like it's a no. And I
Yeah.
know this part of myself, and I know how to address her because I'm like, no, 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 your no. Maybe it's not my no.
Mm.
I know that it's a no for me just when my body is so tired that it's a no.
It's 100.
Because, yeah, and maybe that's not something that it's gonna make me energize or on game. Or then I have another part who is in Italian we have a way of saying which is il troppo stroppia, which is something like too much is too much.
Mm.
And no, too much tires you. Like,
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. I can.
and and so I cut myself many times while I was having pleasure in saying, okay, well, that's enough.
Mm.
And then there is the other part of me who knows that part that is like, wait,
Yeah.
there can be more. Just get it, just receive it, just go into it.
It's like with money and everything in life, because the way you do one thing, the way is the way you're gonna do everything. Wow, this is so deep. Yeah, and you just like really pointed. You are so aware of these parts. It's amazing the fact that you said that in the moment you know that you're worth it, like a human being, like a being, is the moment when you really allowed to have the pleasure. When you know that, it's like you always can go back. Oh, now I'm in this inner child or the other one, and or is this part of me? It's not my higher self. It's not my adult self, because I know that I'm not feeling pleasure, and it's not just about sexual. It's about in everything. And then from that place, you can go back to your center and say, okay, which part is now playing? Is the CEO at the table right now? Who's the one? Wow, this is so powerful and beautiful. I love that. Wow. Yeah, this is deep, Elisa. Like really, and for the because for us, like women, it's so much on top of us always. You have the kids, you have the business, you have the clients, you have your husband, you have the people around you that expect something from you. The way you speak, the way you dress, the way you put the lipstick or whatever it is. And then you cannot really find yourself. But the moment you go in and you found something, this is probably you're so excited about the work that you're doing because it's pleasure that brought everything, like an explosion of emotion, an explosion of your true self. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
for you so much. It's so beautiful, put and
Thank
said.
you. I really love this work, and I mean, I'm honored, and also I'm also in deep wonder of how different shades actually and different layers come up every time, and how you can really address from different sides, different parts of ourselves as women. Um, yeah, it's fascinating.
It is. And let me ask you, when you go like in a session with a client that comes with whatever, I cannot have a vaginal orgasm, or I like I cannot see my husband when he's approaching me, I'm like, I want to run. What you find, so what's the process? You go, you breathe with them, you let them war vomit. I'm really curious, what's
So,
how
um,
is that?
in one-on-one
Yeah,
sessions, I always tailor um, addressing what's on the field of the person, and yeah, there is always a little bit of coaching,
yeah.
mainly somatic coaching, and then there is always a little bit of somatic practices, and to address uh, um, like the two examples that you just mentioned. We don't really go into the causes of them, of why. Of course, we try to see if there is something that made a difference in their lives. Because, for example, for women that cannot have a sexual relationship with their husband anymore, or with their woman, if they like women, we actually look if there was something in their lives that interrupted that open, like being open to love, to life, especially because it's really about vital energy, our sex life. And sometimes we find that someone that they really loved died. Sometimes maybe they had kids, and after kids they were not able to have pleasure anymore. Maybe they tried to have kids and they couldn't, and somehow they lost the idea that they can be feminine and sensual and women, and so they don't let themselves go into pleasure anymore, because pleasure, it's about really embracing your femininity, your sensuality, and your essence, deep feminine essence. And the common thing that I have them do, if they are open to it, sorry, is to know themselves. So it's to really practice self-pleasure, to really learn to listen to their vaginas, to listen to their body, to breathe into their bodies, to unlock what is true for them. Because we were also taught by movies and by whatever we see that you can actually go on an elevator and have an orgasm on the elevator with someone.
We saw a lot. So,
And actually, maybe it happens in life one time, or if it happens, it's really about knowing yourself and knowing what you like. There are women that really like to be slapped. There are women that really like soft touch. I love energetic touch, for example, but it was something that I needed to explore in order to accept that I am the sovereign being of my sexuality. And if I have a king or a queen with me, then it can be a fantastic experience, and it's first and foremost a play, a game.
I love.
We take it too seriously sometimes.
This goes hands in hand. Last week we had a session in the mastermind with Reina. I don't know if you already saw it. And the fact that you talked about that everything is a game, like you can see the relationship between the pleasure, sexual pleasure, let's say sex, making love with your partner, and money and everything actually in life, because everything is a game. Seriously, and you're like always trying to grab for the things, and you're not like open again and hold it lightly in your hands, like it's happening. It's maybe it's not meant to be right now in this very moment. Maybe I just felt like I'm tired or whatever, or my no or yes, it's not the true one. It's okay. That's not like, the more you play with the things, the more joyful they are, the more easy, like light they are, your life is going to turn around. And this I'm still learning. Like I'm still learning.
I am
And
still learning too.
Yeah, because we learn with our clients, with our kids, with the person that we interact in the containers that we are, like everything, it's a lesson. But make it fun, because if it, exactly what you said a couple of times, make it fun, because if like a play, like a game, because if not, you're just a lot in your head, and
Oh
then
my
it's
God, yes. And that's one of the biggest problems that I see among women, that when we are supposed to feel pleasure, first of all, we focus too much on coming, on the orgasm. And whenever you focus on that, you lose the
mm,
chance to really have a deep orgasm. So it's all about breathing and feeling your body and all the sensations that run through your body. It's not about when am I coming, when am I coming, or maybe I should put my leg like that, or whatever, you know. And also, if we focus too much in thinking about the grocery list, about the kid that we need to pick up
yeah,
next, about the mail that we need to send, we're going to lose the pleasure because we are going to stay in our minds. And as it happens in breath work, whenever we are in our minds, we just, yeah, we're not feeling anything really. Um, so it is a deep embodiment practice
mm,
to be able to access pleasure in your life and in your body.
mm. Yeah, I love that. Like everything, like hello, Julia, like with everything. Again, it's so much beauty to see like your own pleasure, sexual or not, in everything in your life goes hand in hand with a lot of things. Your manifestation, the money that you make, how you see yourself, how you see the world, what you believe that's possible for you. They are so interconnected, everything. And also the healing, the trauma, the inner child, the parts work that we're doing, the inner child, everything, the way you see your kid, the way you educate. It's such a complex subject, as we said before. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about your book. What is exactly that you approach in, what you gave examples, or tools or teachings, or what?
So it's a mix about my life, so my
Mm,
experience, about um, some examples of how of some of my clients, of course without name and stuff, because I highly respect privacy.
Julia is saying that it was
Oh,
so instinctive for her to receive pleasure until she got to.
menopause. Yeah, and I'm gonna finish this and then address menopause for a little second. Um, I um, so I mix my life experience, um, teachings, reflections.
Yeah.
I have some free resources that are mostly audio tracks that they can access, so that they can actually embody what I'm teaching. And it's a mix of everything, I would say, and it's a journey from head into heart into the vagina to
Yes.
go to orgasm.
Mm.
So it's really a way to see how, and it's really funny because women are telling me I love it, but also men. I have
Mm.
I have a neighbor who is like 75, who's like, okay, I'm buying your book. So he bought the book. And then whenever I see him around, he's like, oh my God, that completely changed my perspective on women.
What?
I'm so grateful. And he's 75. So it's so funny because he's like,
But it's amazing to see people, more men, like educate themselves and trying to see women from different angles and from different perspective. This is so beautiful. Look, your book is already changing lives. This
yeah,
is
I'm
amazing.
so happy and grateful for this, and it's truly a honor to have it, um, like as a fourth child, because that's how I feel it is. It took me kind of 9 months to go from the beginning to the end, like to release it.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's like a child, and I feel it's like a child, because also now I'm knowing a lot of new people that want to have it. We are launching book parties. We are launching, like in different cities in Italy, events connected to the book. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm
Yeah,
so
women are buying it for Christmas, for friends. It's really, I'm grateful.
and soon you're gonna have it in English for sure at some point.
I hope
I know
so. Yeah.
you will have it. The more you reach people and the more you spread the word, because as if a man at 75 years old found your book useful and to learn more about women, I'm pretty sure a lot of others our age or yeah, because a book it's like forever. It's all your experience encapsulated in that book, everything that you, and I love that you shared about your journey, because I always love when I read a book, hearing about the author. I always like, for me it's, I can relate then even more with
Hmm.
that person, all the teachings. So yeah, I'm excited about you, like really.
And about menopause, I don't know if, Julia, you were saying that that's what I understood, that until menopause it was really like easy for you to access pleasure, and after it's been kind of harder. There are two things that I would like to address about this. First of all, menopause, which I think comes from Latin, because in Italian is also menopausa. It's less. Meno, it means less, and
Mm,
pause, it means pause. So for us, the message that it gives us is like, okay, you're done.
yeah, yeah, it's
And
strange.
yeah, and that's something that we are so afraid. Or once we get there, there are women that are like, oh, it's such a relief. I don't need to have sex anymore, because maybe they didn't have a good sexual experience before. But for others, it's like, oh, I used to enjoy it, and now it's something that I don't enjoy anymore.
Mm.
And I would like to say that in Asian cultures, it's not called menopause. There is a word, which I don't know, that it means second spring.
Wow, I love
So it completely changes the shade of it, also in your mind.
in the
And
a lot,
one
I
of
believe.
my greatest teachers, she's 67, and she's one of the most orgasmic women that I know in this earth. We have another 83 woman,
Mm.
83 years old. Oh, I have no idea what revenues means.
Yeah, me neither. We're not native English speaker, so please just elaborate a little bit on that, because it's difficult for both of us to understand. Please,
But
Julia.
if it's about appetite,
Mhm.
there is a way of saying in Italy that is la fame vien mangiando,
Ah,
which is
I like
you get hungry eating.
what you're reading. Yeah.
So if I don't have sex for 1 month, I can easily not have sex for another month.
Hmm. I've heard that before. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. So it's a relief to not feel controlled by your sexual pleasure. Okay. Um, um, that can really bring so much on
mm,
the plate, because um, how I actually feel that pleasure is for myself is, and this is what I teach, to my women is that it's something that brings you so much in your life that and that you are not controlled by it, but that it's and it's not something to control or to be controlled by. It's just something that gives you so much that then if you want, you can search for it. You can add these to like your life because it's sacred. It gives you, as we said, like it enhances your creativity, your intuition, your love for your body, your love for yourself. So
you said, yeah,
it's yeah, maybe when it's sexual, maybe it's about seeing how you can be a sensual being more than a sexual being, which is a lot different.
Yeah. And what came for me while you were talking to answer Julia was like maybe shifting the way you see it. Like Elisa said, everything that like your pleasure that's inside of you, and if you attach it only to the sexual and then you feel like it's controlling your body and your being, it's gonna be just that, because the energy is gonna go in that direction over and over again. And on the subconscious level, probably it's even more there that needs to be unfolded a little bit in a session. And then shifting the energy, shifting the way you see it, like don't attach the pleasure with the sex and it's bad for me. Attach it with like the power that I have, my intuition, the creativity, and all things. I say my sexual desire used to be like a ping pong ball, just a breeze and getting going, but now it's like a concrete ball if I get it going, but if it stops.
I love this because now it's more concrete, more real, and yeah, it's all about having it go if you feel like it, or knowing how to have it go again if you let it stop, if you want to let it go again, because of course, again, sexual pleasure is something that we can access if we want. We don't have to.
Yeah, maybe, as you said, like already the word menopause, it's bringing, it's like something in your system is just attached to that. And the moment you touch that point in your life, Julia, this is just what I'm feeling. I'm not I'm not an expert on this. It's what I'm feeling in this moment. Is maybe like with the energy and my intuition, maybe that just stopped something, was like a breezy fleeing from being ping pong, something easy. And then, okay, now we arrive at this point and things get serious. As Elisa said, it's a game. And then that balls became matter to matter. The energy doesn't flow there and you attach a lot of things on top of it. And the moment you breathe into it and open more and let it be whatever it is in the moment, don't try to fix it. And then in time, see what's in the mind, see what's in the body, and let the energy flow again and find the rhythm again. If this is what, and a lot came for me.
And menopause actually is an occasion for a woman to step into her freedom, which is something that Julia, it sounds like you are right there to enter in, because it's the freedom of the wise woman that can say no, yes, whenever it's a yes or no, that can address like the past, that can really become that's so good, Julia, that can become actually your portal to love yourself, no matter how you look, how society thinks that you should look, how your hair look, how your skin looks, who cares? It's all about loving yourself, and don't give a shit about what other people think.
You touch on something there with her because she has been in my community and I saw her like videos and she's exactly there. So you pointed that so beautifully, Elisa. She's like really finding the freedom with her body and posting the videos. I believe she can relate with this very much. Wow, thank you for this. And for everyone else and for all of us when we approach that point in our life, because it's going to be like, it's coming, it's just nature. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm going to take some notes and I'm going to put it on my journal myself of that. Wow. Thank you for everything, for this discussion. She says like her intuition is really growing. And I can see in your videos, Julia, at least this is what I'm sensing and feeling, that you are there in your freedom. We can see videos, yeah. And she's a singer, so probably like now.
Yeah, and the mouth and the throat are connected to our vaginas because they are connected through the vagus nerve that goes from here down there. So whenever we are able to open up our throat, we are able to open up our vaginas, which is great. So
Yeah.
probably being a singer is helping you to find that freedom.
Thank you. In knowledge, Elisa, like really, I didn't knew a lot of things that a lot of them, as you said.
I'm happy.
And it was really helpful for me as well. And I hope for all the women that will listen to this, because it's important. And what I've learned from you during our practicum, and I want to mention this because probably some other women can relate with this, the connection that was from my heart to my vagina, like I felt the power. Remember that we had this discussion that I always said like, oof, it's so powerful, the connection that I had and the energy flowing there. So it is everything that she said with the another like second spring that you said, and then the connection with your voice and the vagina, but from the heart. If you feel like you want to be more in your power and also open there, down there, like in your vagina, to have more pleasure, sexual pleasure, and pleasure in general when you breathe for your life, to expand more and create and manifest things, because they are related, like really related.
Yeah.
That like, and go and follow her. It's in Italian. Yes, but sometimes I don't know if
Mostly, yeah. Sometimes I also post in English, and yeah, they can also, if they have pleasure, like find pleasure in it, they can also subscribe to my mailing list. I also write in English to my mailing list. And I have some programs for English speaking people, and yeah, so whenever.
Go follow her, because you're gonna learn a lot of things. And even in this life, like I've learned a lot. Things that I didn't knew. And the deeper you go, and I love the way again you encapsulate everything, what matters in life, like your own being, your pleasure, your beingness, your love for yourself, the beauty that you are at every and any age. I love that. Thank you for your time. Again,
Thank you so much,
where
Adriana.
we can find you on, you said on Instagram, you have your page.
Yes. And then on Instagram, there is the tree link, bit tree link, you know, that link that you can access, okay? And there you can access my website. There is the part in Italian, but there is also the part in English.
Okay, so in her page, I'm gonna put it on this video at the end. You're gonna find in the link in the bio. In the bio link, you have the part that's in Italian and the part that's in English. So everyone that can access that and have more information, and that, why not work?
Yeah, and if there is not the part in English, you can even go to my website, and there is the English part in my website. I'm positive about that.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Have a beautiful day.
You too, Julia. Thank you so much, Adriana. It was a pleasure to be here, and also fun, which is something, you know, I really enjoy.
Yeah, and this is something that I love about you a lot, like your energy and your charm, to say it. It's so potent and so jiggly in a way, and I love that. And I really, really think that we need more of that. So thank you, and I love seeing your face. It make me
I love you too. I love seeing you. Bye, Adri. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
smile.